Hey, yo, what's going on, everybody? Back again, going live, about to hop on the dialer, make some cold calls. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you are new to the channel, my name is Derek, covering everything wholesaling real estate on this channel, specifically virtually wholesaling real estate, because that's what I'm doing. Live in California, currently sourcing opportunity out in the Houston, Texas market. So if you are in the Houston market, Houston Metro, I'd love to connect with you. Feel free to comment any way that I may be able to get a hold of you. If you're looking to get a hold of me, check out the links in the description. I have my Instagram link down there. Feel free to DM me. And I also have a Discord link down there that I created recently, trying to get as many people in there as possible. That's going to be the best way to get in contact with me. And it's going to be the best way to stay connected with all of the subscribers here on the YouTube channel. I wanted to create that for a little bit of a central hub so that everybody can stay connected when I'm not live streaming. So again, welcome if you're new. If you are new and you take anything away from the video, I would greatly appreciate a like and subscribe. If again you feel you take anything away from it, if not, by all means. Kind of resituated myself here. I just finished driving for dollars this morning, hit it for like 2 hours, got my list over a little over 200. I didn't do it all that today. It's sitting at 212. That's over the course of like 3 to 4 days. What's going on, Jared? That's over the course of like 3 or 4 days of driving for dollars. I do it virtually. If you're looking to find out how I do that virtually, I do have a little pre-recorded mini series on my YouTube channel for you to check out. Although I do need to update it. I'm gonna fair warning, I don't do it that way anymore, but it is for the most part pretty similar. I use Google Maps, and now I'm just kind of building a list on a Google sheet or an Excel sheet. And when I build it up, couple hundred. I just want to make sure that it's worth it for me to go through the process of then skip tracing it and then importing it into my both my text platform and my dialer. I use Call Tools for my dialer. I'm going to start making a little bit of content for Call Tools now that I've been in it for a couple months and I wrap my head around the intricacies, the ins and outs of it. I feel confident enough to kind of share with you how I set my dialer up on the back end. And with that being said, I do try to mention every time that this channel was not meant to be educational by any means. I never intended it for it to be a channel where I'm coming across as, I know what I'm doing and this is how you should be doing it. I'm still new to the game. I've been doing it for a little over a year. I've done 2 deals myself, to be transparent. Both of those grossed total 14,000. So I know I'm still learning something new every day. I continue to educate myself, and I just really intended for this channel to be a documentation of my journey and my process, and for you guys to be able to kind of get a little bit of an over the shoulder view on how it is I navigate through my days. So that being said, let me take a gulp of that water. We're pushing P today, in case you were wondering. Hop on the dialer. I'm gonna do something quick. I'm really just gonna lock in on the dialer. I'm gonna hop over here to the YouTube channel, or yeah, to the chat every once in a while, but I'm gonna try to really run the numbers up here in Call Tools. I mention this quite often, but you it's a little difficult. I used to use Mojo Dialer. I have a few videos on my channel for Mojo Dialer as well, but with that, you really could when you're dialing off of a triple line dialer, obviously you can only be talking to one person at a time. So with Mojo, you were able to call somebody. It calls somebody back automatically. So if you're on the line with line one, if you're on the line with somebody on line one, somebody answers on line two. It would play a little bit of a pre-recorded message for the person on line two while you're talking on line one. And once you're done on line one, it would call that line two right back. That's what I liked about Mojo. But in this case, on Call Tools, it just simply, the person on line two will answer, and then it's just at their discretion whether or not they want to hang up because nothing's being played for them. So they will hang up, and then it won't call them back until you dial through the list again. The next day or whenever you call through the list, a few hours from then, depending on how you set up your live filters within Call Tools. So that's the only thing, and those get marked as abandoned, meaning that somebody picked up the phone and you weren't actually there to talk to them. So the way that I've found to offset that is really just be intentional about how much time I'm spending on the phone with somebody. If they're not interested, I still want to get my questions answered, but I want to go ahead and get off the phone and select the proper call disposition, whether it be, not interested, follow up, set any follow up tasks for myself, and then go ahead and click contact made so that I can get off that line and it'll open it up for me to then connect with somebody if they are on the other line. So I found that, by again being very intentional and being quick about doing it is, doing what I want to be doing with the call disposition, that definitely reduces the abandon rate. And by dialing off of a select number of lines. So with call tools, you can dial up to 10 lines. Based on what I've gathered, even the pros don't go over, 5, 6 lines, because at that point you're just burning through data and your abandon rate skyrockets. So I'm typically dialing off of anywhere between 3 to 5 lines, depending on how many times I've dialed through the list. So if I'm dialing through the list the first time, I'm going to be getting a lot more answers, you know, although they're going to be a lot of wrong numbers because it's the first time I'm dialing through the list and I kind of have to sift through it. I'm going to be getting a lot more people picking up the phone. So I want to be dialing off of, a limited number of lines to reduce that abandon rate. But then once I start calling through the list for the second, third, fourth time, I'm going to increase the number of lines because the frequency of people picking up the phone is going to be kind of few and far between. So that's that. Looks like I shaved my beard a little misshaped. Don't judge me. It's angled, but we're still pushing P. And I'm hopping on the dialer. I'm gonna burn through this one. It has like 7 people to call. It's just gonna be real quick. I don't think anybody's gonna even pick up the phone. Got my script here to work through. I got my notepad here to take notes in case anybody picks up the phone. I popped my tire on my car Sunday night, which is what I was dealing with all day yesterday, which is why I didn't come live. Got some new tires ordered. They should be in the shop as of this morning. And now I got to get my car towed over there to the shop tomorrow by 1 o'clock so that I can have them throw the tires on. So wish me luck that it's smooth. You know how auto shops go. They'll be, oh, this came up, this popped up. We got to get to it tomorrow. All that garbage. So hoping for a nice, smooth installation, labor, all that good stuff. Talked to the guy. He was a cool guy. He didn't have the tires that I was looking to get in stock, but he honored the price. The other ones were like $10 per tire more, but he said it was good. He's going to give me the price on the other ones. So that was cool. Made sure that I got his name so that I can ask for him when I get in there tomorrow. All right, looks like that list is dialed through already. That one's bunk. Let me hop on. I'm gonna hop into my driving for dollars. Can't see for shit without my glasses, so I gotta hurry up and clean these janks. You might tell I'm buzzing. Just went through my cup of coffee. I'm geeked up. Ready to run the contacts up. How'd you pop it? To be honest, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I bought the car about almost 2 years ago now, I'm pretty sure I bought it with a nail in the sidewall of the tire, and that was my fault for not inspecting it thoroughly. When I went over to the dealership and I got it, they played me. I'm pretty sure it was either I bought it with the tire with the nail in the tire, or uh, I got the nail in there the next day or something. Because once I started driving it around, I would realize, it's the I don't even know if it was a nail or some. It was just some type of puncture, but the tire pressure, the air would be leaking out of it just ever so slightly. So like after like a few weeks of driving it, I had to put air in that one specific tire, and then it became a routine. I had to fill air into that tire like every couple weeks. Um, so it wasn't bad enough where I needed to get it replaced right then and there, because I'm pretty sure they had patched it up internally before they sold it. But they played me, to be honest. They played me, and I'm pretty sure I bought it with a slight puncture in the sidewall. And if it's in the sidewall, you can't patch it up either. So you just got to completely replace the tire. So I've been lagging. I should have been replaced at least that one, but I drive my car a lot. So all four of them need to go anyway. So I was just kind of waiting for an opportune time to get my car. And hello,
Hello,
hi Anna.
can I help you?
Hi. Yeah, this is Derek. I was calling you about a property I believe you own on Parker Road.
No, you're the wrong number.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Um, but yeah, this is just, now it's the most opportune time. I got one pop tire, so I might as well get all four replaced. The tread on all of them are stripped. So, but yeah, I was just driving the other night. It was low, and it was about time for me to put air again, like I said, on my routine every few weeks, and I was just kind of lagging. And I think I just might have hit, honestly, like a rock, something where it just tipped it over the edge, and then all the pressure in it started to leak out. And it was kind of a slow leak, but then it just went all the way down. Luckily, I was in a place on the road where I could pull over safely into a little auto shop. Coincidentally, um, it was like a just like an oil change place. It wasn't a tire place, but I was able to pull it in there. No damage to, at least not that I know of yet. No damage to the transmission or anything like that. Um, So, and then I waited there for 2 hours, got it towed over to my girl's parents' place, which is just like a mile down the road, because we live in an apartment and I parked my car on the street. So I didn't want to leave it parked on the street with a flat tire. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, Lewis.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how's it going? This is Derek. Hey, I was calling you about a property I believe you own on Bond Street.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I wanted to give you a quick call. Wanted to see if you'd ever consider an offer on your property there.
Oh, it's not for sale, sir.
No, okay.
Sorry.
While I have you, would you happen to have any others you might consider selling?
No, sir.
No, okay. I appreciate you taking the call. Looks like he has two properties right next to each other. So yeah, I was gonna say that's just my car's gotten broken into out here already. Same with my girls. So I just felt like leaving it on the street with a flat tire was just gonna invite people to get in there. It's going crazy out here in the Bay Area. I don't know if you guys have seen it on social media, but they call it bipping out here, where people. I mean, it's kind of like a not just. Hello, hi, Miss Uniga.
Yes.
Hi. How's it going? This is Derek. Uh,
Yes. How can I help you?
yeah, I wanted to give you a quick call. I wanted to call you about a property I believe you own on Windsor Lane.
Okay. What about it?
Yeah. I just wanted to see if you'd ever consider an offer on your property there. You ever considered selling?
It's my primary home, and if I sell it, I am not living under a bridge. So
Oh,
no, I'm
okay.
not considering selling.
All right. I completely understand that. While I have
Okay.
you, would you happen to have any others you might consider selling?
No, sir. I don't.
Okay.
I sure don't.
All right.
So
Well,
thank you.
I appreciate you taking the
Okay.
call.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye bye.
Yeah, they call it bipping out here. It's not just what you probably seen on social media is them running up into the Louis stores and stuff. It's kind of just the snatch and grab, snatch, grab, and run. That's what they do out here. That's the thing. Uh, But yeah, cars specifically, it's to the point where people when they leave their cars parked at night and stuff, they'll leave the windows down to like tell people like, look, you can get in here if you want to, but there's nothing for you to take. You know, it's gotten to that point. But yeah, over like the last year, me and my girl both have gotten our cars broken into out here. So I had it towed over to my girl's parents' place, which is in a little bit more of a residential area. Parked it in their driveway, kind of at an angle where the flat tire isn't visible from the street. So, like I said, got the tires. The core after the tow. Got the tires. Uh, got an appointment for tomorrow at 1. I got to get it towed over there before then or around that time. So I'm gonna call them at like 10 to try to get it towed because if it's gonna take another 2 hours, um, I just want to try to get it there. I don't want to get it there late. So and I let the guy know. I was like, I can't really guarantee that it gets there exactly at 1. So, is it cool if I get it there like an hour before or an hour after? He's like, yeah, it's cool. And it wasn't able to get pat. No, no. So the damage is on the sidewall. So you can't. You just got to get a new tire. Nobody's gonna patch it. It's like every time I get it brought in to get it serviced for like oil change, tire rotation, all that good stuff. Uh, they recommend that I get a new tire, I've asked, oh, you can't patch it up, and they say no by law, something like that. Legally, they're unable to patch it because the damage is on the sidewall. It's like more than a few inches from the actual tread of it. Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, Mr. Roland.
Yeah, this is not Mr. Roland. You got the wrong number.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, if you imagine a tire, like, and this is the tire, the damage is to the sidewall, and they say like there's a certain amount of inches away from the center of the tire here where they're just legally unable to patch it up. How much are your car payments? Shoot, a little over 300, a little over 300 a month. Three 15 or something like that. Nice car though, 2017 Ford Fusion titanium hybrid. I'm getting like 45 miles to the gallon right now, which is necessary with the gas prices out here. So I kind of. Hello.
Uh-huh.
Hello.
Speaking.
Hi. Sorry, I'm not sure if I have the right number here. Hopefully, you can help me out. I was looking for the owner of a property on Nayland Street.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. What?
Yeah, I was looking for the owner of a property on Nayland Street.
I'm sorry. What were you saying?
I don't got time for that. 315. That's pretty good. I need to get something around that price range. Yeah, it's not bad. It's like fully financed too, damn near. I put like 4,000 down on it. I think it was like around 20 it was like 22 but I got some extended warranty where I can bring it in every 7,500 miles and they'll service it for free. So I pretty much paid up front for future servicing. And I take full advantage I try to take full advantage of it like clockwork. I'll just bring it in every 7,500 miles. They'll change the oil, do everything that the car manufacturer recommends. So it was like 22 total, I think. I put 4 down. They financed it for me at like 3%. I think it was either like 2 or 3%. Hello? That's really good gas mileage. I drive a lot also. Yeah. That's what my main focus was to get something good on gas. I knew I had to get a hybrid and I just didn't want to get something that was an eyesore, like a Prius or something. So it was either between this or what was I looking at? A Malibu, Chevy Malibu. but I was more familiar with this car. Me and my girl actually have the same car. Me, my girl, and both of her two sisters all have Ford Fusions. Mine's the only hybrid, and mine's the newest, the cleanest, if you ask me. But I was already familiar with how the car works and everything in it and all that good stuff. So I figured it was best, so I didn't have to play any games. No learning curve. Just copped it, got in it, started driving it. I test drove it. Hello?
Yes.
Hey, Juan.
Who's this?
Hey, this is Derek. Sorry, I know this is a bit random, but I was calling about a property I believe you own on McNay Drive.
A what?
I was calling about a property that I believe you own on McNay Drive.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Oh, okay. I might have the wrong number here. I'm sorry about that.
Wrong person. Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
I don't know if I've ever told this story, but damn, my beard's bothering me, bro. I need to fix that shit. Before I got into real estate, it was when I was doing a little bit of digital marketing, just educating myself on that. And hello? Hello? And I just mentioned it the other day, actually, when me and my girl were out in Cancun. This was probably 2017, probably around there, 2017, 2018. Went out to Cancun, and we went out to this kind of like what do you call it, all inclusive resort where you just pay up front, lump sum, and then all the food is free, all the drinks are free, everything's free. Um, I made sure to tip everybody because that's how they get paid. I'm sure they get paid hourly or whatever, but you got to tip. Especially, like I said the other day, it was crazy service. The gratitude out there or the hospitality, A1. But we were this is like a little beachfront restaurant where they had like some swings on the beachfront bar, and me and my girl were there just drinking, and a group of uh, like a party, I didn't know what it was until I started chopping it up with the guy who came and sat next to me, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm getting married tomorrow. That's my fiance right there. This is the party or whatever." And they were trashed, and he started talking to me, and he's like, I asked him what he did, and he's like, "Oh, I do real estate." Uh, and I asked where, and he's like, "Oh, I do real." Hello.
Sí, ¿con quién desea hablar?
Hi, this is Derek. Am I speaking with Dolores?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Oh, she with the quickness. He was like, "Yeah, I do real estate out in Houston." He was on I believe, the commercial side of things. But I just thought it was funny. And then we exchanged numbers because I was telling him that I was into digital marketing and I was trying to get into lead generation for real estate. That's actually what I was doing at the time. I was looking into generating leads for real estate agents. Again, this was like 4 or 5 years ago. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm interested, bro. Like, exchange numbers or whatever." And then years later, I got into wholesaling real estate in Houston, just coincidentally. And then I started to connect with a bunch of people on Facebook, just trying to get into people's networks, real estate investor associations, stuff like that. And then I came across him, and I was like, "I wonder if this is the same guy." And then I pulled up his Facebook profile, and he had his phone number on there. And I pulled up my phone. I was like, "Oh wow, that's the same guy." Uh, but I was just starting wholesaling. I didn't know. I really couldn't provide any value to him. But he's booming. Like I said, he's on the commercial side of things, and he was making, you could tell he was making a lot of money. I could tell he was making a lot of money when I met him for the first time. That's why I felt the need to start a conversation with the guy. But uh, again, I didn't want to like just mooch off the guy. I let him know I was just getting started, but he was like, "Yeah, anything that I can do to help you out." I just thought that was a crazy coincidence. Um, you know, like I said, it was like 4 or 5 years later, and it wasn't like I was like, you know what, I met that guy who does real estate out in Houston. Maybe I should do it in Houston. It was just completely coincidental. Crazy how small the world is. And I reached out to him and I was like, "Hey, I don't know if you remember, but when you got married out in Cancun, we had met on the beachfront bar. I was telling you that I was in digital marketing. We exchanged numbers." He's like, "Yeah, bro, I remember." It's crazy how small the world is. Been to those several times. Yeah, those all inclusive resort types, hella nice. Definitely worth it. We always talk about going back, if not to that same exact place, to something similar. But made the decision that I don't want to buy any single family houses whenever things are up and running. I want to buy apartments only. I feel that. I've thought about it, and if I do, obviously, if it seems like the opportunity would present itself in Houston, if it does, pop up in the near future, if I am going to explore that, I'm definitely going to just go the property management route. I don't think that that's a bad route. I'm obviously ignorant to it, and I'm speaking ignorantly right now, but based off, my understanding, I believe that property management will take anywhere from like 10 to 20% of gross rental income. So as long as you, hello, as long as you factor that into the numbers and you're still cash flowing, then it's literally hands off. I think they'll come to you for kind of higher level decisions, but beyond that, it's literally just you hand them over the property and they manage it for you. So I feel what you're saying. I think that's the only reason that I would do it is if the numbers really made sense and I was able to factor in some type of property management. So where I don't even have to worry about it. It's just mailbox money, just collect a check, a couple $100 or whatever every month. Apartments with a real cash flow. Yeah, definitely because it's scalable, right? You can, the, this, hello? Hello? This book here, I had mentioned this in the Discord group the other day, is what really turned me on to real estate in general. Oops. It's called The ABCs of Real Estate Investing by Ken McElroy. Ken McElroy is Robert Kiyosaki's guy. Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad Poor Dad. Ken McElroy is like he's essentially his deal finder, Robert Kiyosaki's deal finder and property manager. So Ken McElroy will find, you know, large number unit apartment complexes, like at this point, probably 100 plus units every, he's not going to waste his time with something less than that. And then he'll go to people like Robert Kiyosaki and say, "Hey, I got a deal. You want to invest?" And I watched an interview with both of them, and he says it's at the point now where Robert, he doesn't even care. He says if Ken's gonna bring me a deal, I know that it's worth it. Whereas in the beginning, I would have to look at all the details. Make sure protect my investment, make sure that I was investing into something sound. But he says nowadays, if Ken's gonna even bother to come ask me for $1 million, I know that he's not gonna waste my time. So he'll ask me for $1 million. I'll give him $1 million. Ken will then acquire the property. It's called syndication, where you just go raise a bunch of capital like that, buy the properties, and then Ken is all about value adds. So he'll buy like 100 plus unit apartment complex, and then he'll do little value adds. Like he'll add a security gate around the complex, and then he'll increase all the rents by 15-20 bucks, and then he'll add laundry units, and then he'll increase the rents by 30-50 bucks, and it's just those value adds which justifies an increase in rent. And then he will then manage the properties. And I forget where I was going with that. But he talks about occupancy rate, and how in single families, that's where a lot of buy and hold investors with single families run into issues is because you can have one unit, and if it's occupied, you're at 100% occupancy. If they move out or you have to evict them, now you're at 0% occupancy. Whereas you have that wiggle room. If you have 100 units and all of them are filled, you're at 100% occupancy. But if 5 of them move out, now you're still at 95% occupancy. So it doesn't hurt your bottom line as much when, these one-off apartments start to turn over. But I definitely recommend this book for anybody who's looking to get into buy and hold investing, especially with that type of stuff attached to it: property management, value adds, justification of increase in rents. This is what got me into real estate. This is what I thought I was going to do to start, but then realized that I should probably start from the ground up, and wholesaling was the ground. But definitely check this out. This is a good one. Single family, all you cash flow 5 by 800 doesn't make sense at all.
Available. Record your message at the tone when you are.
It does if you can get multiple units, though. You know what I mean? Like, if you can get 10 single families and have somebody else manage all 10 of them, and you're cash flowing 500 to 800 a month for each of them, that sounds like a good. Hello?
Yes.
Hi, is this Miss Cardenas?
Who?
Hi, I'm sorry. I was looking for the owner of a property on Roswell Street. Do I have the right number here?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Sounds like a good deal to me. If I was cash flowing 5,000 to 8,000 a month, I'd take that. Especially if it's hands off. Property management deals with everything. Hey, what's going on, Don? Thanks for hopping in here. Appreciate you. Lowest I would do is a quadplex. Watching a lot of Grant Cardone lately. He buys only apartments and everything he says makes sense about not buying single family. Yeah. I mean, I'm with you on it. I'm with you on multifamily definitely being the move, or adding a gym or laundry to increase rent. Exactly. Those value adds. That's where, like, it seems to be. That's what that book is really revolving around: is finding properties that are already occupied. Even finding properties that are occupied, that are in good neighborhoods. The whole book is surrounding around poorly managed multifamily properties. That's what his strong suit is. That's like his superpower, if you will, is property management. And so he identifies multifamilies that are people rent it. It's in a good area. People will pay top dollar for rent or close to it, but they're just poorly managed, and they're missing out on opportunities to increase rent, like everything that I mentioned. Like you're saying, gym, laundry, security. What else that he talks about? I mean, all those amenities. Look, hello.
Hello. Sí.
Hey, Gonzalo.
Sí, dígame.
Hey, this is Derek. I was calling you about a property I believe you own on Barclay Street.
Barclay?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I just wanted to give you a quick call and wanted to see if you'd ever consider an offer on your property there.
You need to call the office.
Oh, okay. You have multiple
The
properties, it sounds like.
Provide for the house in Barclay.
Okay.
The number is 832.
Uh-huh. Manage the property?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're calling your information for.
Okay. Would you be interested in selling that one there on Barclay?
No, you need it. First call the office.
Okay. All right. I will do.
Okay.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
I'm not gonna call the office. Pools, yep. I was gonna say anything that you been thinking of this out here: pool, a gym, like a activity center, or like a little clubhouse. all those stuff, security, laundry, allowing pets if you're wanting to deal with that. It comes with a little bit of hello.
No,
Hi, is this
no,
Miss? Hi there, is this Miss Aboitis?
yeah.
Hi there, this is Derek. Hey, I was calling you about a property I believe you own on West Pitts Ave.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I don't know speaking with.
¿Quieres vender tu casa en el calle West Pitts Ave?
No, right
No,
now, no.
no, okay.
Okay?
All right, appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't know I spoke that Espanol, huh? Uh, I'm fluent, damn near. All that stuff, though. Value adds. Like I was gonna say, pets. It comes with a little bit of extra management, but if it's being managed by somewhere else, or you already have that process in place, like Ken does, then that's another one. You can just charge more rent. Charge a higher security deposit, all that good stuff. Once we have wholesaling cash, then we can get into apartments and commercial. Yep, that's the plan. That's the move. You know about Manny Koshman? No, I've never heard of him. Buys buildings like those ones in downtown. Those are the real cash. He made 12 million one deal. God damn. See, yeah, that's the type of stuff too, where it not only it increases, you're able to inflate the values of rent, but it also forces appreciation on the asset itself. So if you really wanted to, you can go in there, do these value adds over the course of like 3 to 5. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, Umberto?
Hello?
Hey, how's it going? This is Derek. Hey, I was calling you about a property I believe you own on Willow Street. I was gonna say it's like that type of thing where you could be doing these value adds over the course of 3 to 5 years, be increasing the rents every time you make a value add, every time an apartment gets turned over. Um, somebody moves out, you go in there, you switch out the appliances, you do carpet paint, nothing too crazy, but it justifies then renting it out to the next tenants at a much higher rate. And then by doing that, hello, hello,
Yeah?
hey Antonio,
Yeah.
hey, how's it going? This is Derek. This is Derek. I was calling you about a property I believe you own on Dunkley Drive.
I'm not speaking.
Oh, ¿quieres vender tu casa en la calle Dunkley Drive?
Oh, no.
No, okay,
No,
all right.
no content.
Okay.
Okay.
Man, y'all didn't know I spoke that Spanish. Come on, man. And then like on year 5, year 7, or whatever, after doing all those value adds, after fully turning over every single unit, and now they're all, new appliances for the most part, new carpet paint, you've done those additions to the security, to the laundry room, all that good stuff. Then at that point, and the market has appreciated just in general, then you could, then you could just turn the whole complex over and sell the whole thing for much higher than what you initially bought it for. Going to become a billionaire, so those type of properties are the only way to achieve that now without, for sure, most definitely. And it's all about syndication too, leveraging your money. Based on my understanding, obviously I've never done it, but seems like the big players aren't even really using their own money to do it. I got my boy out in Sacramento out here. I was telling you the other day, he flips houses with zero money out of pocket. He gets hard money. He gets like his hard money lender, lends him like anywhere between 70 to 80% loan to value, and then he raises private money from friends and family to close that gap for the other 15 to 30%. And then he flips the property, pays everybody back plus interest on their investment, and then walks away with 30 to 50 grand every flip. And he's doing that every couple months. He actually just bought. He's been doing one flip at a time, but now he's doing. He just got 2 at the same time, and now he's starting to embark on that journey where he's managing 2 flips at the same time. So pretty interesting to watch his process. He's been doing it for probably like 3 years or something, nothing crazy. So Um, I say that just again to speak to the. Hello.
Yeah, you're up.
Hi, is Dallas?
Oh, there's nothing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Good.
Uh, I just say that to speak to the fact that he's doing it with zero money out of pocket. He's literally just raising the money, and that's definitely where I think those type of big plays are being made. I mean, syndication of multi, 100-unit apartment complexes, and obviously recruiting the help of good property management. People tend to mess up properties when it's cheaper properties, like let's say apartments on the hood, are more likely to be messed up from tenants rather than luxury ones. Yeah, that's for sure. I've heard good things about Section 8 properties though, because it's almost guaranteed cash flow, guaranteed rents. It's like a niche investment strategy, obviously, but the checks are coming from the government, so you don't really have to worry about the tenants not paying on time or anything like that. True, they use other people's money. I don't plan on doing any flips. Yeah, I don't really plan on doing flips myself, managing flips. But what I do plan on. Hi, is this Miss Well?
Ken?
Sorry, I'm looking for the owner of a property on Goldcrest Street. Do I have the right number here?
Ken?
But what I do plan on doing is likely when I build the cash flow enough is investing into flips like my boy.
Message and I will return your call. Thank you.
Like my guy out here who is looking to raise private money, and he's he did the math for everybody, and it's like a 30% return ROI on like a 4 to 6 month turnaround, something like that, on like a $10,000 investment. What would that be? Like if he's paying them back after 4 to 6 months, 13 grand. So that's the type of stuff that I probably do. I'm not going to be personally managing any flips or anything like that, or even involved in any, but I definitely see opportunity in kind of just investing in them in terms of private money, because he clearly knows what he's doing. I don't know if he's ever lost money on a flip, to be honest. Um, but I see him making big checks on it. So he has the spreads on these deals to be able to raise private money and give his investors a good return. I just want to have my hand in everything until I find and kind of have tried a little bit of everything, and then I know what really interests me and what I like doing, and to me, I feel like I'm unable to really come to that conclusion without at least trying a little bit of everything first to come to that conclusion.
Calling. Please note that calls may be monitored or
That's just who I am. I'll probably, try one thing out, fail, lose a little bit of money, and then never do it again. But that's how I tend to do things. Um, Dabble in a little bit of something here and there to then realize, all right, that's not it. I got to stay away from that. Or even if I did make money on something, like, that really wasn't who I am. Again, like me quitting my job, I was making close to 80 grand a year, and I was set. I was comfortably getting paid every 2 weeks, but it wasn't for me. So I was willing to walk away from that, knowing that it wasn't for me. I had to be honest with myself. And this is the brokest I've ever been, and this is the happiest I've ever been. Hello?
Hello.
Hey, Oswaldo.
I think you have the wrong number.
Hardest part is now, which is the beginning. Yeah, for sure. I'm not really tripping. This is like I said, this is the happiest I've ever been. Building something, that's always what's interested me. That's why I like marketing so much. I love building something from the ground up, watching something evolve and be created from thin air. Mm. God, how many no's do you think I've gotten so far? Probably only like a handful, huh? 5 or 6. 6. Yo, what's going on, Otis? What's going on? Got that REI reply. Let's go. I think I seen you post that in the Discord. I don't know if you saw my reply, but let me know. Let me know what's going on with it. I feel like I wrapped my head around it enough to be able to at least point you in the right direction. But it's obviously going to be. Oh yeah, and you're doing it for listings as well, so your campaigns are going to look much different than mine in terms of the language and stuff. So, but let me know if you have any questions. Their support is actually really good too. So don't be shy, in reaching out to them. If you have something, they get back to you within 24 hours. Sometimes I'll reach out to them and they'll get back to me within a couple hours. Their support is really good. That's a big thing that I've found too with a lot of these softwares and stuff. People sleep on the support. If you have bad support, it's like you'll run into one issue, try to reach out to somebody to get your questions answered, never hear back, and then I'm off. I'm gone. I'll go to another software that does the same exact thing that has better support. Doing a campaign this week. Let's go. Yeah, let me know how that goes. And we can bounce. What I was saying in the Discord too is I'd love to bounce ideas. Like, let me know. I'm big on numbers, despite like not really like doing it at scale, but systems is really attractive to me. So I'd love to kind of bounce ideas off of you and vice versa, if you'd like, on kind of like what is generating the highest like response rate, reply rate, deliverability rate, all those metrics when it comes to texting. About to hop off in a few minutes, just put another sign on someone's car, then I'll be back on. Let's go. Let's go, Jared, for sure. Let me know. Is Random planning on reaching back out to her today? To Maria, I believe is her name. Because I doubt she texted back, I'd imagine. But let's try to get that. Let's try to get that scheduled, that appointment scheduled, get that contract signed. If you guys are in here and are unfamiliar with what I'm talking about, me, Jared, and his girl are working a Spanish-speaking lead that I talked to the other day on here. She was able to articulate and let me know that she was interested in selling a different address than the one I was calling on. She provided me the address, so his girl reached out in Spanish, and they've been going back and forth. We've come to a soft verbal commitment to the price, soft verbal agreement on price. She's kind of kicking the can down the road a little bit, so we're trying our best to. Rather, Raina is. I don't want to take the credit away from her by any means, and you, Jared. You guys are really working the acquisition side of this one, so they are trying their best to create some urgency, just to make sure that she's not going to continue kicking the can down the road forever. She's just said she wanted a few days and that she'd be ready by either tomorrow or Thursday, and that she'd want to sign that agreement in person. So they are planning on swinging by her spot and walking her through that agreement, hopefully getting that locked up. I'm thinking that we honestly put it out at like 115, 120. The soft verbal commitment that we have her at is 85. So should be a pretty decent spread on it, even if somebody does come in and lowball us and we're not able to find the very best buyer. I think that there's still a good spread on that for us to get paid. It's a lot, Otis. Yeah, there's a lot of moving pieces for sure. Don't give up on it though. It's with anything, especially all these intricate softwares. A lot of moving pieces for sure. I'm not gonna lie. But once you start to you know zone in or hone in on your process and really refine it, and I'm still setting up like triggers on the back end so that so that I'm not having to manually do all this stuff where it's just kind of automatically handling these things. Like when people text back and they say, "Stop, quit, um, don't call me again, don't text me again." Like you can set it up in the back end where you say, triggers is essentially a if then statement where if somebody texts me saying quit, then remove them from the list and add them to my do not call list. And it seems like every campaign I send out. Hello?
Hello?
Hey,
Yeah.
Mr. Arroyo.
Huh?
Hi. Sorry, I was looking for the owner of a property on East Whitney Street. Do I have the right number here?
No, sir, wrong number.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Sorry.
And it feels like every time I send out a new batch of text, somebody's texting me something else where it's like, like that's interesting. I don't have a trigger set up for that in the back end. Like just the other day, somebody texted me saying, "Do not contact me," and I don't have a trigger for that in the back end. So it's like, okay, well, I got to go in there and do that. So at that point, there's a little bit of manual effort, but every time that happens, I'm able to set up something new in confidence, knowing that the next time somebody texts me saying, "Do not contact me," it's going to be completely hands off and I'm not going to have to do anything with it. The software itself is going to disposition that or dispo that, however you want to say it. Um, so it's like the more you use it and the more you take note of how you can refine your process and uh, implement new campaigns, new triggers in the back end so that in the future there's less and less manual labor on your end. You're able to just then blast out and then only deal with the people who are interested. Right. I think like in a day or two, we plan on just going up to her house with the contract. Shoot, I feel that. Stop. Stop. Damn, bro. Quit. I feel that though. Oh yeah, for sure. I did a small one when I first got it. Epic fail. Oh, it changed the time zone. Oh yeah. That's a big thing. Time zone. If you're marketing virtually, which I am, so I definitely know what you're talking about. Sent out 435 texts all at the same time. From like 6:45 a.m. until I went through it all. But we'll get better. Yeah. That's another thing you gotta be careful with. You always add it in drip mode when you start your campaign, so that you can set up and say, send 5 texts every minute, 3 texts every minute, however you feel comfortable. However, and that's something that you got to determine too. So I found that with all of the triggers that I have set up and the amount of manual labor that's still required on my end, I'll send anywhere between 5 to texts every 1 minute. Uh, it's not so much where I'm unable to handle it, when people start replying. So that's what I do personally. But that's something that, yeah, you gotta, in the beginning, I was doing 2 every minute, 3 every minute because there was a lot of manual labor and I was taking note, like, okay, somebody said this, that's a good one, that's a good trigger, right? And then as the manual labor started to reduce because of all the triggers that I set up in the back end, I started to slowly increase the amount of text per minute that I would send out. But yeah, definitely send it in drip mode because that's going to be the number one way to have your numbers flagged as spam within Twilio. So once they get flagged, it's damn near it's done. Then you gotta get new numbers and that you pay attention to the error codes. They're gonna kick back with error codes with like a little red triangle, and then you can become familiar with which errors are serious errors and which ones just aren't that bad. So like 30003 error code is just means that it's like a landline or the phone doesn't receive text. So you obviously want to stop sending them texts. You don't want to continue sending them texts. So you want to remove them from the campaign. But 30007 means your numbers bunk and you got to get a new one. It's being flagged as spam for some reason, whether it be some of the language within your text, some words that are flagged with the phone carriers, um, or you've gone above and beyond the recommended text per hour. I think it's like or I think it's even just 200 new texts per day per phone number. So if you go beyond that, then your number is likely to get flagged as spam, all that type of stuff. And that's just something that you become familiar with by trial and error. She only lives 12 minutes away. Oh, okay, yeah, bet, Jared. Don't scare her now. Don't scare her now. That's the only reason why I think it may be beneficial to give her a call, because if there's a chance that she does agree and is willing to set something up, an appointment up and say, yeah, come by tomorrow at 2, then it will be a little less invasive than you just showing up. I think the showing up is like last resort. I don't know if we're quite there yet, but again, you guys know better because you guys have been in communication with her. So whatever you think. For me, most of mine right now, using like cold calling for just listed, and sold. See if I can help them with any real estate needs. Pretty much 1 or 2 texts per contact. Okay. Drip mode. Yeah, I didn't see that. Yeah. It's going to give you the option where it says add all at once, add in drip mode, and something else that I've never used. I don't even know why they have add all at once. If you're using the system the way that it's supposed to be used and doing it in bulk and sending off hundreds of texts at the same time, you should never do add all at once. I don't even know why they have that as an option. It's just setting you up. I'm made though. I got a Twilio account, didn't need it. Did it auto account. Hello?
Hello?
Hi, Miss Bradford.
Hi.
Hi. This is Derek. Sorry, hey, I know this is a bit random here, but I was calling about a property I believe you own on Sadler Street.
Not that I know. I don't have a property on Sadler.
Oh, I'm sorry. I might have dialed the wrong number. Well, while I have you, would you happen to have any property you might be interested in selling at the moment?
No, I don't.
No, okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you taking the call.
All right, thank you.
I know.
Bye.
What'd you say now? I'm made though. I got a Twilio account. Didn't need to. It did it auto account. Oh yeah, exactly. That's what I was telling you the other day. Don't worry about Twilio because once you set it up through REI Reply, they handle all that stuff on the back end. They get you linked up with Twilio. They get you linked up with your voicemail drops if you want to do that. All that good stuff. It's like, yeah, REI Reply. It handles all you have to now worry about is going in and checking your balance. That's the only thing. Checking your balance, and that's where you buy new numbers. You could, I think, even buy them through REI Reply if I'm not mistaken. But that's where I go. I go and I buy my new numbers in Twilio. Get rid of my old numbers in Twilio, my flag numbers, and then that's where you like re-up. That's where you fill your balance because that's where it's getting charged from. You're technically paying. You're paying for REI Reply through REI Reply monthly for the software, but then for your usage, on the per text basis, you're paying through Twilio. So hello?
Bueno, sí, Latino 5 Text.
Hi, is Mr. Irvin?
Bueno.
See, yes, this is Mr. Irvin. Wrong number. I said, see. They got me speaking Spanish. I'm not even trying to. It just comes out. Yeah, and I replied by them there, but I bought a number and I loaded it through to. Yeah, exactly. You can buy it through our REI Reply and then go to Twilio and see that same number was purchased. It's like they just become the middleman. So technically, you're still buying it from Twilio, but it just makes it easier to do it from the interface of REI Reply. It's just all in the same place. I'm pretty sure the only thing that you can't do on REI Reply that's happening on Twilio in the background is load your balance. But you may even be able to do that. I don't know. That's just what I do. I go to Twilio to load my balance. I have REI Reply up right now. I'm going to pull it up, see if you may even be able to do that. Payments. think that's the only thing you have to do on Twilio is load your balance. Didn't need to pay twice. Oh, wow. I loaded balance there on Aria reply. Oh, okay. Where do you do that? I got to get into another list here. Starting to slow down. I'm going to use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. Company payments, I think. Let's check it out. Settings, company. I don't see anything in company. Oh, teams, reputation, phone numbers. So this is where you could, buy phone numbers for sure. Payments, integrations, maybe integrate Twilio. I don't know. What was that? Okay, I'm gonna switch campaigns real quick. See if I get start getting a hold of some people. I think I've only connected with like 7 people, or I've connected with a handful of people, but only gotten 7 no's so far, and probably like a little under an hour. Like no every 10 minutes. That's a little bit too infrequent for me. I see your text, Raina. I see on a jewelry account about that lead on Johnson Street. Oh yeah. If you could please update me on how to go about it. Yeah, I will. I'll take a look at that. Yeah, I'm gonna take a look at that. Forgot about that one. I've fallen off of my follow-ups. That's what I'm gonna do, really, in like 5-10 minutes. I'm gonna switch over to follow-ups because that's where I'm reminding myself about those. Hello?
Hello?
Hi, Miss Patel. Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello, Miss Patel?
Patel, no.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right. On that note, I'm gonna hop off. $616 dials, 28 were human. Two of them were abandoned. Count calls, positions, 6 contacts made, 14 wrong numbers, 2 voicemails, 5 no contacts. Pretty slow. Pretty slow. I need to get more data in here. Like I said, I have a little over 200 on my driving for dollars that I need to get skip trace and put in here. That'll help me out some. That should hopefully get me another 20, 40 good solid contacts off that. And then and then I also have a list from Damon, one of the subscribers here, that shot me a list that he got from Jerry Norton's Flipster. So I'm excited to try that one out as well. Get that one inputted here. Input here to see how that is. I checked the list a little bit. There are some names on there that I'm familiar with that I know aren't interested in selling. So I'm going to try to clean it up a little bit so I don't waste my time with some of those people. But other than that, it was just because I know, again, those names specifically, that they own like hundreds of properties in the area and aren't interested in selling any of them. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hop over to my calendar. I'm going to take note of that right now. Johnson Street lead. The way that he was acting, though, it doesn't sound like. I mean, we might as well get him an offer just for the sake of getting him an offer. But I think you had, if I remember correctly, thrown out a number, and he was very turned off to it. And at that, I think that was the max too, like 50,000 for the lot. The other couple of properties were decent. I remember they were well maintained, but if I also recall, he actually wasn't even interested in selling. He was just wanting to know what an offer was or something like that. But I'll for sure get you the numbers and be able to get it over to you so that he can. Yeah, but he's not really motivated. Yeah, right, exactly. So again, I'll run the numbers for sure. Get it to you so that you at least are able to shoot a number out to him. That's really what I'm trying to focus on, is increasing the amount of offers. So I think it's worth, just at least giving him an offer. That way he can think about it, so that if the time does come and he's willing to sell, he'll have your number so that he can reach back out, anything like that. So I'm gonna go through here pretty quickly. I'm not gonna waste my time with a lot of these people. He doesn't really have a reason to sell it. He said it himself. Yeah, and he's the one with that other lot of land too. Yeah, so I'm not gonna comp it like crazy. I'm gonna remind myself of the numbers, and based on the information that you were able to gather, try to come up with like the best offer that I think it's still worth it to us, so that you can at least make the offer. I'll get that to you probably by the end of tonight, so that you can reach out tomorrow if you are able to. So I just pulled up. I got 34 follow-ups here, either past due or due today for myself on my dialer. I'm gonna go through a lot of these. I'm gonna talk through them out loud, but a lot of these I'm gonna delete. I've been mentioning that. You'll hear. I listen to. Yeah, exactly. We can give him an offer and move on if he says no. Right, exactly. Otis, I need to do a more targeted list. Right now, I'm doing circle prospecting. I'm not familiar with circle prospecting, but that is what I've gathered with real estate agents. Is that's the type of marketing that you do, is kind of like a blanket, because you're not really able to target motivation other than like for sale by owner or failed listings or stuff like that. But in terms of just like people interested in selling their house and listing their house, I've gathered that it's more of a blanket type marketing where you can essentially ask anybody if they're wanting to list their property. That goes for wholesaling too. That's what I was thinking about this morning. If you call enough people, you're gonna come across somebody with some motivation. in distress or a pain point, whether their house be brand spanking new, 3,000 square foot on multiple acres. If you call enough and talk to enough people, the idea of refining your lists and targeting specific lists is just to refine your KPIs. Like, obviously you're wanting to talk to the fewest amount of people to generate the most amount of leads, and you're able to do that. And I'm sure there's ways to do it. I'm ignorant. I'm speaking out of place in terms of trying to gain listing agreements. I've never educated myself on that, so I'm sure there are ways to go about finding those type of motivated sellers for listing agreements as well. All right, so Terry Irby, I'm done with him. I'm gonna go ahead and delete him. This is one that I actually we had come to an agreement, and this guy started playing games like crazy. This is out in Conroe, Montgomery County, north of Houston. We came to an agreement, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, I need $30,000 more than what we agreed on." It's like, all right. We even sent somebody out there to check out the property and all that good stuff. Paid somebody to do that. Came to only because we came to a soft verbal commitment on the numbers. We sent somebody out there, and it was way worse condition than we thought. And we didn't even try to renegotiate. We were like, yeah, we can honor that price. We thought, and which I think that we would have been able to. But then he was like, oh yeah, I need $30,000 more. It's like, what, bro? That was the biggest learning lesson for us. Don't ever send anybody out unless, we were just like happy, like, oh my God, yeah, we got him to agree to the price. But he was playing games, and I think that he will forever play games. At least it's not worth my time to follow up with him at this point. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete that follow up. Carol, house sits on multiple acres. Neighbor has expressed interest in buying 1.5 acres. Asked that I follow up there in the beginning of next year in case your neighbor hasn't moved forward. I remember this property as well. It's kind of out in the middle of the nowhere. I don't really truly feel confident and comfortable marketing this to buyers. I don't think that it would be as attractive to a buyer who is buying something in the inner city. This is the type of area where you're going to drive like a quarter mile to get to your neighbor's house, right? It's just so much land. And I haven't really personally spoken with a number of fix and flippers or buy and holders that are looking for that type of property. I feel much more confident and comfortable with properties that are in distress within the inner city. So that's one that I'm going to go ahead and get rid of as well. This woman was the first lead that I've ever generated. She was wanting to downsize. She hadn't really done a research, didn't know how much the property was worth. She was really fearful because this was right in the beginning of COVID and her company was closing down. But she also was kind of playing games. Now that I think about it, she just wanted somebody to talk to. I have continued following up with her, never been able to reconnect with her, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of her as well. She, again, thinking back on it, she wasn't even really a motivated lead. She had some motivation, but she wasn't willing to act on it, and I haven't been able to get a hold of her since. It's been close to 2 years. Not close to 2 years, probably close to like a year and a half, and never been able to get a hold of her again. So that's somebody that I'm not going to waste my time with following up with. Yes, that's correct. Just that way, send out hundreds of stuff to everyone in a farm area. Yeah, exactly. Follow up to learn about other property. This gentleman or woman possibly has another property. I don't know anything about that. I'm not going to. I said possibly. I would have put in much more details if it was a real lead here. Not interested, but had some consideration in his voice. Said he would save my number because he wasn't wanting to move or do anything like that until next year. Really appreciated my phone call. I'll give him a call right now. That one seems like I'll give it one more try. Obviously, again, he's not motivated. No motivation there, but worth. I kind of left a note for myself saying that the vibes were high on the phone call, and it's probably worth reaching back out because he's saying he's not wanting to do anything until next year. I connected with him on October 11th. Seems like he's taking title to the property within an LLC. Maybe not an LLC, but multiple people on it. His name is Elias, so I'm going to go ahead and give him a call, see if he answers.
your message for 834.
Hi there, this message is for Elias. My name is Derek. I'm not sure if you recall, we connected back in October regarding one of your properties, I believe, over on Shoulder Drive out in Houston. At the time, you had let me know that you weren't really interested in selling, but that you might consider moving early this year. So, wanted to give you a call back, seeing if you've given it any more thought. If you have, and a quick cash sale is something that you might be interested in, feel free to reach back out. Again, my name is Derek, and the best number to reach me at is this number here, area code 832. I'll talk to you soon. Go ahead, leave a note for myself, dial, left voicemail, but I am going to go ahead and get rid of him off my follow-up as well. Not somebody who I'm wanting to spend time on. Next one here, Paul. Initially said not interested, but asked how much. I had deflected and kind of turned it on him. He told me that he just recently went through a divorce. His ex-wife moved out of the house and out of town. Paul isn't wanting to stay in the area either now because there's nothing here for him. He's been in the area for 60 years. He wants to move back to Louisiana, doesn't want to deal with everything involved, and I received permission to follow up in January. I connected with him in late October. This seems like a good one to keep in my follow-up, so I'm going to go ahead and give him a call. Hey, Paul, how's it going? This is Derek. Hey, sorry, I'm not sure if you recall. My name is Derek. We had actually spoke a few months back about your property over on Semis Street.
Oh yeah, well, everything fell through on that man there. I can't afford to go anywhere.
Oh, okay.
So that whole deal was gone.
Gotcha. Yeah, I remember when we connected, you had mentioned that you were wanting to move out to Louisiana. That's what you're saying that you're unable to do now?
Yeah. We sitting in a position now where my wife is she can't make up her mind what she want to do. So everything is at a standstill now.
I gotcha. Well, if it's all right with you, I'd love to kind of just stay connected and follow up so that I may be able to help you out when the time is right for you guys.
Yeah, that sounds good. That'd be all right.
All right. When do you think is an appropriate time for me to follow up? Like a month, 3 months?
Just about like you did this time, because where standing right now, like I could tell you a bunch of things, but I don't know any more about what's going on than you do.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
So,
just out of
touch base.
Sure, we'll do. I'll kind of keep you on the follow up here, and I'll give you a call every month or so just to see where you're at.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Appreciate your time.
Okay, you take care.
All right, you as well. Bye now. I was going to try to dig a little deeper. He says it's kind of at his wife's discretion. Connected with seller. His wife doesn't know what she wants to do, so everything has been put on a standstill. Gave permission to Derek to follow up every month or so to connect when the time is right. I'm going to note in my follow-up note here. I'm going to say check in. Has his wife decided what she's wanting to do? Dig deeper to determine what has to happen or what decisions need to be made in order to move forward. figure out if there's anything that you are able to offer as assistance in order to make the transition smoother. Because it sounded like he had a lot of stuff that he wanted to share with me, but he also like he would have shared it with me and then not still not been wanting to make a decision one way or another anyway. So uh, all right. Next one, Carl said not interested right now. Gave me permission to follow up at the beginning of next year. Go ahead and can call Carl here. A lot of folks do these for target FSBO for rent by owners, divorce, probate. Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, it's kind of similar. That makes sense. Yeah, that does make sense to me. It's like I come across people who are wanting to sell, but they're not in such a distressed situation where they're willing to take a low offer. Rather, they are interested, and those are the type of leads that I kick to my realtor. So, where do you market? You're out in Washington, if I remember correctly, Otis. I could be thinking about somebody else, but uh, remind me what market you're in. Because yeah, now that you mentioned that, I completely forget that I come across retail leads all the time. It makes sense. Those type of leads are going to be in these type of situations as well. So, all right, calling Carl right here.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
I'm not going to leave Carl a voicemail. I'll leave a voicemail because there wasn't really a hot lead or even a warm one, to be honest. Um, oh, it was actually Josephine. Sounds like his wife that I see. I need to be checking these notes on. There's like two separate areas where you can leave notes in call tools. One is the notes within the actual property, and then one is the description of the follow up task that you're setting yourself. So in this one, I just simply clicked into the property and I saw that I connected with somebody, said that, not interested now, gave Derek permission to follow up in the beginning of the year. But then in my description of my follow up task, it says with Josephine. So it sounds like I connected with his wife. So I need to be double checking to make sure of that. I'll call her in a month. There's another one. Dorothy, not interested right now, has nowhere to go. See, this is one where I'm going to probably call if I can't connect with her or I do connect with her and she says kind of the same thing. I'm just going to go ahead and remove her from my follow up. It's not really a lead, to be honest. I don't even know why I've indicated to myself that it's worth following up with. Well, I do know because historically speaking, I used to set these type of follow-ups for myself, but moving forward, I want to only be following up with the warmest and hottest of leads. So kind of just going to blow through them right now, but if they don't answer, if I get kind of similar.
Hi, you have reached 71369.
So, I'm going to go ahead and remove her. Michael, when I first connected with him a couple days before Christmas, he asked how much. I said I needed to learn about the condition. He asked for a call back tomorrow after 7 a.m. as he was at work. Called him back the next day. Dialed, no answer, no opportunity to leave a voicemail. Called him like a week after that, that I initially connected with him, and it was a nail salon. I remember that actually. So, So I deleted that number. So I have 3 other numbers that I could dial here. So I'm going to go ahead and dial these numbers, see if I can connect with him. Again, don't even really know if this is a lead. All he said was give me a call back because I told him I needed some time from him to learn about the property. Oh, yeah. I forgot you're outside. One more ring.
We're sorry. All circuits are busy now. Please try your call.
I don't know what that means. I get that kind of often. I don't know if the numbers bunk or if the circuits are busy. I feel like I've gotten that before and I've redialed and then connected. It may be like a soft phone that they're using, like I am, like Google Voice or something.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 8.
Just wanted to give it a second to see if the name was in the voicemail, which it was not. Here's the last number for this property. If I don't connect with anybody on this one, I'm going to go ahead and delete this. Because again, the number that I initially connected with the gentleman on, I called it back and it was a nail salon, which is so bizarre. Or you know what I could do is take note of the property and then single skip trace it.
We're sorry. All circuits are busy.
That's what I'm going to do. Dialed all other numbers with no success. I'm going to come here and set my task to a task and not a call back. Single skip trace this property and attempt to connect with the seller again. Go ahead and do that tonight. If I can remember. I need to make a habit of pulling this up again when I get home at night. All right, here's a gentleman. Connected with him initially January of 2021, so about a year ago. Otis, yeah, I forgot you're out in Sacramento. I was just talking about my guy out in Sacramento who's doing a lot of flips. He's a realtor as well. He does all that type of stuff. So shoot, I don't know how they, I'm sure that you guys can provide some value one way or another with each other. Do you wholesale elements? Me, no, I'm a realtor. No, Derek. Element, yes, I do wholesale. That's what I'm doing here. To be transparent, I'm no pro by any means, but I have done 2 deals. I've grossed $14,000 in those 2 deals. The first deal was a $12,000 spread that I split with my JV partner. Each of us took 6, and the second one I did by myself, and I took 8,000 from that one. Both of them virtual. I'm out in California, virtually source an opportunity out in the Houston, Texas market. Do me a favor, guys. If you're in here and you haven't already, hit that like button. I know I usually am good about being the broken record player and reminding you guys, but it really does help out the channel. The videos specifically, when the videos get likes, it definitely, YouTube shares it with other people. So if you could, do me a favor, hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, I believe you're new to the channel, Element. I don't know if I've ever seen you in here. If you're taking anything away from this, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and check out the links in the description. Got a couple batch skip tracing, batch leads links. Those two are affiliate links, just so you know. If you want to support me in the channel there, I will get a little bit of a commission from there. And also, the best way to connect with me when I'm not on live stream is my Instagram. Links in the description, as well as the Discord group that I created. That's going to be the very best way to get a hold of me, because I have my notifications turned on my phone. So hop in there as well if you'd like to kind of just stay connected with both me and some of the subscribers who are already in there. I'd love to stay connected with you. How long did it take you? How long did it take you per deal? First one, I closed both of those back to back. I got the first one closed in late August, and then the second one closed late September of 2021. I tend to say that I really didn't start dialing until like early 2021. So I'd say like 9 months, a year, to be honest. I started wholesaling, really starting to educate myself in like September of 2020. But I really wasn't taking it seriously, like really hitting the dialer until early 2021. So I'd say like 9 months to get that first one. Is he in the Discord? No, my guy's not in the Discord. He's not, but I'll shoot you, hop in the Discord and I'll shoot you his Instagram handle so you can kind of tap in. He does a lot of content on Instagram and all that good stuff. He does a really good job of documenting what he does, far better than I do, for sure, because he's in the field. He's actually out on the job sites. He's documenting his flips, how much he makes per flip, all that good stuff. So this guy right here, property is rented month to month, 2 more years, I think. This is actually, I think at one point I had some cold callers, and I think this is a one that my cold caller generated. Property's rented month to month. It says more 2 years, which is why I think that it was my cold caller. They were from the Philippines. Their English was a little broken, but rent amount is $1,400. Water's dripping. Needs to replace the roof. Maintained but not in good shape. No problem for electric and plumbing. Reason of selling is if the price is right. So he's not motivated. 180,000 ballpark. He got an equity loan of 20,000. Needs called back. I reconnected with him way later. I'm sure I connected with him sometime in between, but then I switched over to Call Tools and I brought my data over from Mojo. So I connected with him at one point in August. Still no intention of selling right now, but gave me permission to follow up in 6 months. 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, which is today. I ran the numbers. My max allowable, based on the numbers that I ran in October, was going to be around 140. I dialed, last time I tried him was late December. Dialed, left him a voicemail, wasn't able to connect. So I'm going to go ahead and try to reconnect with him. See if he's given it any more thought, seeing if he's approaching that time, or if he's done any repairs to the property, because it seemed like it was needing some repairs when we initially spoke with him back over a year ago.
Please leave your message for
Caesar Wong.
sorry, mailbox.
That is the gentleman. So I'm gonna make. Also in Mojo, there's something that you can do. What I really like, you can mark the phone numbers as primary. Like if you determine that this is the best number and you didn't want to just delete the other numbers on the property, you could say this is the primary one. And then sometimes the primary, would go out of service. They got a new phone number. Okay, well, let me try these other numbers. Right? I guess I can do that here. I can mark it mobile phone number as opposed to phone one. Boom. That's what I'm going to do moving forward. I'll no opt to leave voicemail. Call him in a month. Damn, I'm getting hungry. I'm calling a lot more of these people than I figured. Okay. I remember this guy. Okay, I'm actually just going to skip through the, I'm going to clean it up first, and then I'm going to call through them. Yeah, like this woman, thinking of selling on market after tenants' leases up at the end of January. Either going to keep them in place, put them on month to month. This is one that I'm going to get rid of. I know exactly who this woman is. She is not a motivated seller. She has her head in the clouds about the price, and even if she does come down on price, she has gotten played by other wholesalers. She's just not. She's not somebody who needs my help. I'll just be straight up about it. She is really like wanting top dollar, and even if she was willing to budge to come down to my price, it would be a nightmare trying to get her to the closing table. Derek, any free websites to find out owners' information, phone number, real owners, True People Search? That's the only one that I can think of. I skip trace though. I skip trace using batch skip tracing. Again, the link is in the description. That's what I would recommend. I use coupon code TTP from Brent Daniels. I think it makes it about 15 cents per property, and it's worth it. If you're doing this at scale, if you're doing this in volume, which I recommend, and you're calling, a couple hundred people a day, trying to connect with as many people as you can, you want to get the best data, right? And it's worth it to pay 15 cents, $15 for 100 properties, $30 for 200. What is that? 150 bucks for 1,000. But if you don't have the budget, completely understand. I would use True People Search. I've heard Jared is on here, one of the subscribers. It sounds like he's used it in the past and able to connect with people. Your contact rate is just going to be reduced. So with batch skip tracing, you can sometimes get up to a 20% contact rate the first time through the list, but it's going to be far less than that if you're using some type of free platform. I couldn't give you exact numbers, but just know you get what you pay for in terms of skip tracing and getting that information for the people. We hear people. What's going on, dogs? What's going on, bro? Connected with seller that said maybe interested in the future. That was back in July. I'll give him a call in a minute here once I go through these other ones. We'll consider after the tenant is out. That's one that I want to stay. Refer to realtor. Connected with Miss Menace. She doesn't own this property here, but she does want to move out of her apartment and buy something in 6 to 9 months. That was back in November. That's somebody who I could call real quick just to say, hey, were you still looking to buy a new place? All right, everybody else, I know all these people, and they're pretty worth following up with. She said she already sold this property. She said that she didn't want to sell any other properties right now. Very dry conversation. That's the one I'm going to delete right there. Is that all of them? Let me refresh. Start from the bottom up this time. Jorge stated that he wasn't interested in selling now, but maybe in the future. Gave me permission to follow up every 3 to 6 months. That was back in June of 2021. So it's been about, 6, 7, 8 months. Plans to build a house on the land. Says he's going to get started with construction mid next year. So it's a lot, it sounds like. And that was back in late October. I'll give him a call, see if his mind has changed any. That's why I remember this guy. I was like, he's not going to build a house. Yeah, I'm going to get started on building that next year. What are you going to do until then? Pay the taxes and lose money on the property? Hey, Jorge, how's it going? This is Derek. Hey. I don't know if you recall, but we've been going back and forth a little bit about your property over on Wichita Street out in Pasadena.
Okay.
Yeah. I just wanted to follow up with you. We connected a couple months ago. It sounded like you weren't necessarily interested in selling at that point, but it kind of let me know to follow up with you to see if anything's changed. So just wanted to follow up, see if you've given it any more thought into, possibly selling that place for a cash offer.
Not right now.
No,
I
okay.
ain't got it right now.
All right. You think you'd be interested in the near future at all?
Maybe in the near future, maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Right now, no.
All right. When do you think I should round back with you? When do you think the time would be right?
To be honest, I don't know.
Okay. Okay. If you don't mind me asking, does anything specific need to happen before you'd be ready to sell?
Maybe what?
Does anything specific need to happen before you'd be ready to sell that place?
So, let me see. Yeah, maybe. Well, I ain't gonna lie. Maybe, yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, if it's all right with you, I'd love to, just continue following up with you to reconnect when the time's right.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And if anything ever does change, this is my direct line. Feel free to reach back out.
Okay.
Okay. Just so you know, it's my partners and myself. We have some cash on hand. So we're looking to pick up a couple properties here within the next, 30 to 60 days. And we can take care of all the closing costs. We can make a real quick cash sale, real convenient, simple, smooth for you if that's something that you're interested in.
Okay.
All right. Well, I appreciate you taking the call. I'll talk to you soon. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye now. I'll connected with seller, still not ready to sell. Stated maybe in the future. I'll continue following up with this guy until late this year, and if he still hasn't built a house on the property, or I mean, even in the next couple of times, I'm probably gonna start not insulting him, but being like, "Isn't this place just losing you money? It's just a piece of land, right? Um, what are your plans with it?" That's what I asked last time, and he said, "I'm gonna build a house." Follow up with him in like 2 months. Francisco, this guy, same deal, same exact deal. I've been offering him 50,000 for his lot. He was like, "Oh, that's good money. Let me speak with my wife." Last time I connected with him, the wife was in the hospital, interested in selling the lot, but not for another few months. That was in January. I'm gonna actually push this out for like 2 weeks. Um, I just connected with him like 2 weeks ago. I'm gonna ask how the wife is. Hello? It's ringing through my computer. Okay. Okay. I don't want you to feel rushed any. Just as soon as you can get back, it's no issue. Let me double check. 1 second. Um, 4. So honestly, I think you're safe with going ahead and taking it. Okay. Okay. All right. I will update you when you're home. It's kind of the same thing. I'm making calls right now, though. That's why I said that. I'll see you in a little bit. Bye. This gentleman said 90,000 in May. We can go and see the house. The house needs repairs. 75-year-old house and no longer has the money to maintain it. It is vacant. It should have been. Oh no, I remember this. It's still, I think, high at 90. He ended up listing it on market at 110, and I just wanted to see. So Zestimate's 135 on it. It's a smaller place. Listing removed at 110 back in June. I'm going to pull this up in batch leads, see if ownership had changed in the last year to see if he actually sold this place. This is definitely a area that I'm interested in, though. Still in his name. MLS status was canceled. It was on market, it looks like, for about a month. Maybe even less. No, about a month. It was on market. He dropped the price at one point from 115 to 110, and it still didn't sell because it was crazy overpriced, like I mentioned. Estimated value on batch leads is 117. I would need this at like 50 grand. Don't recommend doing this, but I am going to quickly comp it. Again, I'm comping properties unnecessarily because I just signed up for batch leads. So not only do I want to get my money's worth, but I want to start to familiarize myself with it. So residential single family sold properties within the last 12 months, built within 10 years, square footage within plus or minus 20%. It's a 1266 square foot property. Let me just double check to see if 20% is around where I want it. It's pretty much exactly where I want it. I'm gonna increase that to 25 though, just to give me a little bit of a wider net in case, and then I can refine it if I get a lot of properties. Located within, I'm gonna start at I'm gonna start at a quarter mile. Ignore lot square footage. No, the lot here is 5,300. I think I've come to the decision where when they're at this rate, I can go like up to 50%, plus or minus, right? That's going to give me like 2,500 in each direction. So I'm going to filter those. How many properties does that give me? 0. So let me see. Residential single family sold within the last 12 months, built within 10 years. When was it built? 1940. That's good. Built within 10 years. Square footage plus or minus 25%. Located, I'm going to go within a half mile as opposed to a quarter. That's the only real thing that I feel comfortable moving. So that's 3 properties now that I'm looking at. Let's see. All of them are about 1,400 square feet bigger lots, which is fine. All of them within 5 years of the year built, which is cool. On the high end, I'm looking at 184. And then 179 right behind that, and then another one at 97. That's probably something that sold as is. All of these sold, from May to August of 2021, so about 6 months ago. So let's see, 184 on the high end, same bed, same bath, about 200 square feet bigger, about 1,300 square feet bigger lot, same year built. So 184, I think ours sells for what? 164, probably 160, probably like 170, 175, considering the appreciation in the market. I'll say like 165 just to play it safe. 165. Now this other one sold for 179. 5-year newer build, again about 1,400 square feet bigger lot. It's nothing really to that 1,400 square feet bigger lot is really not a discrepancy that I think holds a lot of value. Maybe slightly. It's nothing crazy though. About 200 square feet bigger as well. 5-year newer build. So that one sold 179. So that one's like the same property as the other one, and you can see just the appreciation in the market. This one sold for 179 on July 15th. And the other one sold for 184 exactly 1 month later, August 12th. So this one's 200 square feet again. So that one's 179. I think ours goes for 159 because of the square footage on the property, maybe 155. right? Because it's slightly bigger and newer. So call it like 160, and if you really want it to be optimistic, you can take market appreciation into consideration, which I'm not going to. 160 on that, I'm going to multiply that by 0.92. This is just the way that I come up with my formulas. So multiply by 0.92 to consider buyer fees and commissions on the back end. Minimum of 20,000 buyer profit brings us down to 127. And this property is under 1,500 square feet. Let me see if I have any notes on the condition. Needs repairs, 75-year-old house. It's vacant. Connected, and this is again connected with the seller mentioned. I mentioned the property. He said not right now and hung up. That was in November. I connected with him again a month later in December. Mentioned the property was still there and he hasn't sold it. Wants me to call back next Wednesday at noon. I guess I just failed to do that. So I'll connect with him again. Daniel, did you have to meet seller or buyer at the title company to process paperwork to close your deal? Curious. No, not at all. In fact, the first one, we sent a mobile notary out to the seller because he lived closer to Austin and the title company was in Houston. His daughter, it was a lot of moving parts. On my first one, I'm gonna go through this quickly. On my first one, the seller was the father in the situation. He was an absentee owner. He lived out near Austin. The property was in Houston and his daughter lived there. She fell behind on payments. They needed to sell before they got foreclosed on. I made him an offer. We assigned it to the buyer. My title company is in Houston. On closing day, my buyer swung by the property on his way to the title company to sign closing docs. He grabbed the keys from the daughter. At that point, there was a whole bunch of other stuff that I'm skipping over, but I had helped her out with moving and putting her place stuff into storage. So he swung by, grabbed the keys on the way to the title company, went to the title company, signed the closing docs. A mobile notary was sent out to the seller, which was the father. He signed the documents and then it closed. Everybody got paid. On the second one, the buyer was actually, he has affiliation with the title company. So he's just in the next room over in the office. So he literally got up, walked over, signed the docs, and the seller in that one drove in. So both of them drove in. Again, I have nothing to do with it. Once I assign my interest, all I'm waiting to do is get paid. So I don't have to meet the seller. This is all virtual. I'm in California and just waiting on the wire. Now, if I was to double close on it, I would have to actually take title to the property. So I would have to close signing docs. And in that case, I would imagine that they would probably send me a mobile notary as well. So I'm still not having to like fly out to Houston just to sign the documents. So where was I at? So this is I just wanted to get the condition on that. So I'm at 127, less, repairs, vacant place. I can see it on Zillow. It's in distress. I'm just going to imagine that it's going to need the works, everything about it. So I may take like 40,000 off. It's a smaller place, 1,200 square feet, maybe conservatively 50. Where that brings me down to 77, then I would need my assignment off that. I'm going to take 15 off that. 62. I'll probably go max 65. Unless he's really coming to 70, I'll take that too. But just for the sake of me looking at the numbers while I'm negotiating, I don't want to go above and beyond my max. So 65. I'll probably start at like 50 up to 60, 60 up to 63, 63 up to 65 if he's willing to play that dance. And I may even be able to really, in all honesty, go upwards of like E5 to be quite optimistic. I just want to, again, for the cool beans, hell of a close. Yeah. The first one was cool. A lot of moving parts, and I felt really good about that one. So let me give this guy a call. This is a good one. I'm gonna get this contract right now, just so you guys know. We're pushing P.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice
Make sure it's
messaging
the right
system.
number.
7-1.
Because I got 2 numbers here. I'm going to double tap him. I'm going to let it breathe for a second. Just take a look at these numbers again. So I mean, he's not too far off. Again, I was saying if we're looking at the comp that sold on the high end, almost what 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, almost 6 months ago. If you wanted to take any market appreciation into consideration, which I'm not, I think that. So I'm not taking market appreciation into consideration. I think that ours could probably sell for 165 at that rate. And then just being optimistically about everything, like the buyer's fees and commissions on the back end, them only wanting 20,000 profit, me only wanting a $10,000 assignment fee, and the repairs only going for like 40. I may be able to go upwards of 85, which I think would be attractive to him since he listed it at it got removed at 110, and at the end of it, he was probably going to walk with like close to 100, maybe a little bit more. So I would only be 15, 20,000 away from what he'd be walking with, and hopefully that makes sense to him because it didn't sell at 110, so nobody's going to buy it at 110. I'm buying it at what it's worth. I just hope that he has his expectations has been reset now that he's listed it and it's failed. Back on any leads so far? Nah, nothing crazy. Talked to one guy. He's waiting on the wife to make up her mind. This one that I just comped seems favorable. The last time I connected with him, he listed it on market for 110. If he removed it after like a month of it not selling, when I initially called him, he wanted 90,000 for it in May. That's another thing. So he wanted 90 for it. It's vacant. It needs repairs. 75-year-old house, and then he listed it at 110, hoping that he'd be able to walk with like 100. But now I forgot that his expectation initially was 90. So I think that I could probably go upwards of 85, but I'm going to try to stay under 70 to play it safe when negotiating. You down to call that for sale by owner Gatamad? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm cleaning up my follow-ups like crazy right now. I'm deleting a lot of people that I've just honestly been wasting time with, and that way, when I go through my follow-ups, I can go through them much quicker and only spend my time on the hot ones, and then go right back to the dialer and generate those new leads. That's my intention. So I'm double tapping this guy right now, hitting him for the second time. He didn't answer just a second ago, hoping that he answers now.
Your call has been forwarded to
See
an
if I can leave
automated
a
voice
voicemail.
messaging system. 7
Yeah,
1 3.
leave him a voicemail real quick.
Is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, Thomas, how's it going? This is Derek. Not sure if you recall, we've been going back and forth a bit about your place over on Crescent Drive out in Pasadena. Last time we connected, it sounded like you still own the place. I'm not sure if it was still vacant or not. But I just wanted to reconnect with you, see if you've given it any more thought, seeing if you're still interested in possibly selling that place. Just as a reminder, my partners and myself, we are able to pay cash. We're looking to pick something up fairly soon here within the next 30 to 45 days. And we can just go ahead and offer that quick, convenient cash transaction. So if that's something that you're interested, please feel free to get back to me. Again, my name is Derek, and the best number to reach me at is this one here, area code 832. I'll talk to you soon. Fire voicemail. Come on. Dialed. Voicemail. I'm gonna call him in a week. That one's a good one. Let that one slide. Let's see. So, see if he still owns property. Open conversation about condition. ARV around 130 to 140 is how I ran the numbers last time. So these properties have been definitely appreciating. I'm gonna get rid of that note here. I said I needed it at 90,000 less repairs, which is not the case anymore. So I'm gonna call him back in a week. I might even just call him at the end of this week, to be honest. I'll call him on Friday. I'm gonna stay on top of this guy. And I'm gonna come in here. Also, I do this often, and I want to make a habit of no longer doing this. I'll run comps, and I won't put the notes here. So I want to take note of both of these comps. Possible as is comp. That one I didn't take a look at it, but that one sold for 97.5. 1 year newer, about 1,400 square feet base, about the same size as all the other ones, and it's about 100 square feet smaller than ours. So that one sold for 97 as is. So if that one's in similar now, and it has an extra bed. Oh, I forgot to take the discrepancy on these for beds, bath. No, same beds, baths on the one that sold on the high end. So it's good there. The as is one has an extra bed though. So I'll just allow that and the square footage discrepancy to offset. So that one sold 97 as is. So if that one's in any type of similar condition as this property, may be able to sell somewhere close to it. But I'd imagine that it's probably in a little bit. Oh, I got a picture from Street View. It looks to be in pretty poor condition, maybe new roof. So if anything, ours would sell for a little bit less. But that one also sold about 9 months ago. So again, I think 85 is about my max on this. So I'm going to go ahead and take note of that. Possible as is comp. Take note of estimated ARV of what, like 165, 170. MAO, say, refer to as is comp. You can call them when you first hop on the live. I know we can make it work with him. He wanted 550, lowered it to 500. We need to be at 440 to make it work. All right, yeah, I'll come in. And I think we were talking like me offering him 375 or something like that. And I may be able to even work my way upwards of 400 and really just be like, that's the best I can do. That way you can come in at like 415 or 420. I don't know what type of numbers. That's something that we can talk about just to make sure that when I come in, the numbers make sense based on what you were offering. Wants to sell, but stepdaughter does not want to. Okay, I remember this one. I just called him a couple days ago too. I didn't want to call him weekly. I'll go ahead and push this one out a little bit. To the end of this month. This one was the woman who I thought was getting messed around with by the other investor who filed, she called it a lien. I think she was talking about a memorandum of contract, which prevented her from selling to anybody else. But when I last spoke with her, I pulled it up in PropStream and the ownership was actually transferred. So I'm going to pull this up in batch leads and see if that's still the case. If it is still the case, I'm going to go ahead and remove her. I think that's what my task even was set to check PropStream to see who's on title. So let me pull it up in batch leads real quick. Just make sure that the title was actually changed. Yeah, so the title changed. I think she lost the property. I think so. It does have a lien contract. Parties involved: her as the principal and contracted party Fit Acquisitions LLC. Recorded on August 3rd. Dang, so this gives you a lot more information than PropStream did. I didn't see any of this in the lien section on PropStream. So document type contract. So this may be a memo. This may be a memorandum of contract. Give me 1 second, y'all. Yo, let's get it. What's going on, Stefan? No. Down. 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 Stop being a brat. Down. No. Down. Is that batch leads? Yeah, batch leads gives me all this lien information. So I think actually it is. I think it may be a memo. I'm not familiar with it, but it says document type contract, and that's what she was saying at the time. She was like, "We already have a contract with somebody else, but they backed out because they were complaining about how I was never able to answer the phone call and how, you know, this is what I came to the conclusion of. She sold it to somebody and changed her mind. They went and they filed a memorandum of contract and brought it to however the authorities to actually take title to the place. So, or maybe she sold it to somebody else because the lien involved is Fit Acquisitions LLC, but the person on title's name is Francisco. So, um, yeah, I don't know. He's still may be liable to sell them the property. I don't know. It's just something that I'm not able to get involved with now. She already title has already changed to somebody else, and there's a lien with another party. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove her from my follow up here. That was one where I came to a verbal agreement with her though, and everything, but she was just kind of playing games. All right, connected with Miss Woodall. She confirmed that they were interested in selling possibly in 4 to 6 weeks. That was in October. Called her a few days later, no opportunity to leave a voicemail. Called her a few days later, no opportunity to leave voicemail. A few days later, same thing. 2 weeks later, same thing. 2 weeks later, I spoke with Mr. Woodall. He confirmed that they are not interested right now, but to call back in 3 to 4 months. That was at the end of November. 3 to 4 months would be December, January, February, in between late February to late March. So I'm going to go ahead and call him early February just to get ahead of it here. Try to connect with him, see if he's given it any more thoughts. Y'all see that Tom Brady officially retired? So I'm going to go ahead and try to connect with Mr. Woodall. Hello? Hello? Hello, can you hear me? It was like they picked up but then hung up right afterwards. I'm gonna do the same thing, let that breathe for a second, and I'm gonna give them another call. Double tap them. Let me So again, in October, they were interested in selling in a month. And then when I connected late November, which was about a month, almost exactly 6 weeks after I initially connected with them, when she said, yeah, we're interested in 4 to 6 weeks, connected with the husband as opposed to the wife. And he said, no, not right now, but call back in 3 to 4 months. It's been about 2 months since then. So, oops. Trying to get them back on the phone here. His estimate on this is right around 140. I'm gonna import this into batch leads while I let it breathe, so that if he does connect and we're able to have the conversation unfold, I don't have to do this. I can just simply start running comps. All right. Estimated value on batch leads, I almost call it prop stream, on batch is 160, so a little higher than what it's selling me on the Zestimate. Owned it since 96, about 17,500 left on the mortgage, so that's not an issue. Owned it for 25 and a half years, both of them on the title. I can see the husband and wife. I'm going to dial out again, and I'm going to start running comps while it's dialing out.
Hello.
Hey, Mr. Woodall, how's it going? This is Derek.
Who is
Yeah, this is Derek. I'm not sure if you recall, we've been going back and forth a little bit about your property over on North Street out in Baytown.
Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to reconnect. I know the last time we talked, you said you weren't interested, but to follow up in a few months. So just wanted to give you a call back, seeing if you've given it any more consideration.
We've given it a little bit. We just haven't decided what we're going to do yet, and just really have not. So
Sure.
can't give you an answer today.
Sure.
That's for sure.
Completely understand that. Just kind of out of curiosity, does anything specific need to happen in order to make that decision?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
We just haven't made up our minds.
Sure. Now,
Whether we're going to keep the place or not.
right. Do you currently live there, or is this a rental for you?
Well, actually, I got a family member that lives there right now.
Okay.
Yeah, still in my name, but one of my family members live there, and but anyhow.
Yeah.
We haven't made up our mind yet.
Sure. Just so that I know, I mean, are they on, if you don't mind me asking, are they on any type of a long-term lease, just so I know when to follow up?
No, not really. We just haven't pursued getting, having anybody, look at it, give us an estimate on what they think the place would sell for, and this, that, and other.
Sure. And
we hadn't had it appraised yet. And so anyhow, you probably know more about it than I do. So
no, yeah.
No other houses, around it has been selling that we know of. So I don't really have anything to go by on what those old homes like that are selling for.
Sure. Yeah. Just so you know, I don't know much about it. That's why I did want to connect with you and learn a little bit about the condition. My partners and myself, we're looking for some properties that do need a little bit of work, so that we can come in, do the work, and resell it. So what I can do on my end is I can kind of do a little bit of homework and determine what we think we may be able to offer. Again, it will depend on the conditions. So based on what it sounds like, when's the last time you've been in the property? Oh, okay, okay. So
Yeah.
you're familiar with the condition.
Pretty much, yeah. It needs it needs upgrading and it needs a little, some work and what have you.
Sure,
Uh, Here and there to upgrade
sure,
in my mind.
sure.
And but he lives there and everything works. That's there.
Right.
So
Now,
uh,
when the time does come and you do decide to sell, does your family member, would they have anywhere to go, or how would that work?
well, yeah,
Okay,
yeah, they have other place to go,
okay, okay.
and so we just haven't decided. But
Sure, sure.
anyhow, I'll keep the phone number.
Please
And
do.
if we come up with something, what's your name?
My name is
Derek?
Derek. Yep, you got it.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Mm.
I'll write this phone number down, and if we decide to do something here in the near future, I'll give you let y'all give me an offer on it.
Sure, sure. I was gonna,
And,
I was just
see if
gonna
we can come up.
I was just gonna mention, just so that you know kind of how we're buying our properties, we are able to pay cash, and we can, really just make it the smooth, simple transition that everybody's looking for. I'd imagine that's what you're looking for, at least. So,
Right. Right.
it would really be a hands off type of situation for you. I did want to ask, for an offer like that, where it was just us coming in cash, covering all the fees and stuff, so we can make you a net cash offer just straight to your pocket. Did you have an idea of how much you were wanting to walk away with?
I really don't. Like I say, I haven't heard or seen any price on any homes there that haven't seen any for sale.
Sure.
I don't know what they cost. I haven't had anybody come in and appraise it. I had one lady come in. It's been a year or two ago, and she was a friend of my son that lives there, and then she's in real estate, and
Hmm.
she told she gave us a price on what those places were selling for, but that was last year,
Right.
over a year, maybe two, might have been 2 years ago. I don't
Right.
know.
Right.
And it's an old home, but it's in the house is in really good shape, and but yeah, it's it needs some upgrade. There's no
Sure.
doubt about it.
Sure. So why don't we
But
do this? This is what I'll propose, and let me know if this sounds good to you. We do have the cash on hand, so we're looking to buy something, within the next 30 to 60 days here. I don't know if that kind of
right,
meets your timeline or not, but I was going to say, within the next, 2 to 4 weeks, I was going to say, why don't you do a little bit of research on your end, figure out what you would be comfortable with taking as an offer, and then I can do the research on my end, take a look at the market, the surrounding areas, to kind of do the same thing, knowing that, the property is going to need some work. I can kind of come up with an offer so that when we reconnect,
right.
we can see if we may be able to come to an agreement on something.
Well, we're probably gonna get somebody over there, and at some point, and see if somebody can, tell us about what those old homes would be selling for,
Sure, sure.
and in what condition, and
Yeah.
everything like I say. And this one pretty much works. It's 2 bathroom, 3 bedroom, and so it's a pretty nice old house.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. And that's something that I would love to do for you as well. Obviously, you sound like a sophisticated seller, so I wouldn't want to, just tell you what the places are worth, but what I could do when I do my research, I can kind of provide you with some addresses in the area that I'm looking at to come up with our offer price so that you can kind of take a look and know what I'm looking at as well. Kind of,
right.
I'm not going to give you an official appraisal by any means, but yeah, that's how we make our offers. We're just looking at what properties are selling for in similar conditions, and then what we are going to be able to sell it for once we fully fix it up. So I'd love to be
Right.
able to give you some properties that I'm taking a look at, just so that how I'm coming up with my offer here.
Right, right. I have. We've been looking on the internet, to see if any of them showing up on the internet.
Right.
That's somewhere similar to that house that would that we could do some comparisons on. But
Exactly.
Those old homes like that, that house was built in 1938, but it's stronger than this house I'm living in right here.
Sure.
And this house was built, 20 years ago by a reputable builder, and it's a big, expensive home.
Right.
I live in. That home in Baytown was the one I was raised in.
Oh, okay.
My dad bought it, and but I've had 2 hurricanes where I went to that house.
Right.
I didn't stay in this one. I stayed in this one in one. I think Ike.
Right.
I stayed here in Ike. And about halfway through the storm, I was wishing I wasn't here. It was. I didn't like the way this old house felt. This new house felt.
Yeah.
I like that old house. It's built. It's wood. The studs are sandwiched in 2/8 inside and out. And that thing is a tank.
Right.
So that house will be standing there way.
A few more hurricanes, huh?
Oh God, yeah. They'll be there when this one's gone.
Yeah.
And it's just it's not a house that'll fall down. It's a house you're gonna have to tear
down. Yeah.
It's a tank, but it needs upgrading.
Right.
There's no doubt about it.
Right.
And so I'm sure y'all would probably be wanting to do a lot of things in there, and there's some things that needs to be done. You got one person living there, and there's 2 bathrooms. Well, one bathroom isn't being used at all.
Right.
So that one needs to be upgraded for sure.
Right.
It's a good old house.
Okay.
All right, I'll do some research.
Yeah.
And I'll have your phone number and name and maybe we can do something in the next couple months or so.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to ask when it would be appropriate for me to round back again, since I know families living in the property. I don't want to rush it at all. So would you say, if I give you a call in a month, that's enough time to put everybody on notice and do your research?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
I think so.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So I'll round back with you
All right,
in about a month, and I'll connect with you then. I look forward to talking.
Okay, give me a call back.
All right. Have a good one. All right, that was good. Good enough, at least. Right? Got enough information out of him. I didn't get specifics on the condition, but he kept mentioning it needs some work. The place is built in 39, so if he hasn't gotten in there, now the next time I call, I'm going to dig deep on the condition. I'm going to do enough research to the point where I'm going to know, okay, I'm going to need it at 100,000 less repairs. Now, when I call back, I'm just going to focus on the condition, right? I'm going to focus on the other things, like, the timeline. I don't really know why he's wanting to sell it, but again, I can kind of dig deep into that. But I can at least do my market evaluation, run some comps to determine, okay, I'm going to need it at 100,000 less repairs, so that when I call him, I can know, like, I'm going to need to be anywhere between 50 to 85. It doesn't sound like I'm going to be anywhere close to that. I'm just throwing numbers out there, but you know what I'm saying. Essentially, I'll be able to just say I need it at 100,000 less repairs, and then based on the conversation the next time, I can dig deep on the condition and be able to just simply subtract what I think the repairs are going to cost, and then be able to come up with my offer there. Sounds like the son lives in the property. He's not on any type of a lease. It's probably informal. 3-2, which is good information because it's listed at a 3-1 as a 3-1 on Zillow. He was raised in the home. His dad bought it a while back. It's gone through 2 hurricanes, so that's something else that I'm wanting to determine. Has it flooded in those hurricanes? All that good stuff. Good conversation though. Take note of all that. Connected with seller. I was trying to pull a price out of him. He just doesn't know. His estimates at, again, 139. Batch gives an estimated value of 160. Let's just go ahead and assume that Batch's estimate is accurate as the ARV. I would need to be right around assuming it doesn't need every single thing, but maybe like kitchen, baths, floor, carpet, paint, maybe a new AC unit or something like that, I would probably be around like 75,000. Connected with seller. Son lives in property. Him and his wife hadn't made up their mind yet as to how they want to handle it. 3-bed, 2-bath. Son not on a lease. Sounds informal. Probably not paying rent. Maybe he is. I don't know. I'm just assuming. Notes. His dad bought it, and he was raised in this home. It's gone through 2 hurricanes. Say, seller kept mentioning that the place was sturdy, but needs some work. To dig deep on condition. Next call. Call ended with Eric saying he'd do his research and come with some comps for him next time they connect, and the seller would pretty much do the same thing and determine how much they were wanting to sell it for. Also in the notes, I'm going to mention he kept saying he wanted an appraisal to come up with price, something to focus on and try to overcome, as I mentioned. I was kind of spinning my wheels in my head while I was on the phone with him, like, how do I go about telling him that it doesn't really matter what he gets it appraised for? And I pretty much did. I told him, that's how we're going to come up with our offers. We're looking at what properties are selling for in their as-is condition, and then what they'll be able to sell for on the back end fully fixed up. So I didn't outright say it doesn't matter what it gets appraised for, but I kind of did. That's what for my first deal that went through, that's exactly how I said it. And I was able to overcome that. It's not really an objection. That's just, it's old school. That's how people think that's how the values are determined. I'm going to get somebody out here and they're going to tell me how much it's worth, but appraisals don't necessarily, appraisers aren't fixing and flipping properties. So they're not considering a lot of stuff that needs to be considered when somebody comes with a cash offer. So when I'm coming with the cash offer, I'm considering the fees and the commissions on the back end once it's fully fixed up and the end buyer goes to sell it on market. So that has to be considered. The repair costs, which is the big thing. An appraiser is not going, slightly, but they're not really, they're not fixing and flipping properties. So they're not intimately familiar with what somebody's going to do, So they may estimate any type of repairs, but they're not the person who's actually coming with the money to offer. So for all they know, the person who comes with the cash offer is going to do something completely different in terms of repairs than what they're estimating, and then profit, right? That has to be considered in making a cash offer as well. So it doesn't matter what it gets appraised for. It's not what I'm going to offer. Just to kind of make it simple. So today's the 1st. I'm going to call him 1 month follow-up. I'm going to call him on the 1st of March. Call him the 1st of March, and then I'm also going to set myself another task on this one around the end of February, like the 25th of February, that Friday. And I'm going to say run comps. Determine ARV and MAO less repairs. True condition will be determined on next call. Really like that call as well because it came from me double tapping him. I called him twice and he answered on the second time. So hopefully that's a little bit of a educational piece that I really didn't intend to be educational, but for these hotter ones, I'm gonna call them multiple times. I really should be calling everybody multiple times, but again, right now what I'm doing is I'm determining who is worth following up with in the first place. So a lot of these people aren't even really worth following up with. So I'm gonna call them one last time, and if they don't answer, I'm just gonna delete them from my follow-up list because I'm spending more time following up with people who will never be a deal than I am cold calling, right? So if I can, if I'm spending 2 hours in follow-ups, but really only 30 minutes of it was worth my time, truly, that's another hour and a half where I could be generating new leads on the dialer, cold calling. Derek, in this market, for example, a house is worth $650 for a fix-up, approximately $25, but the homeowner is making monthly payments to the bank. How do you go about that? And what can be the cash offer price? Please answer. I will answer, Element. I always try to answer. In that case, if it was $25,000, my offer price would be, I'll tell you, and then I'll tell you how I came to the conclusion. My offer price on this one would be around probably 500 minus however much you want to make as an assignment fee. And even at 500, you could probably, if you found a buyer that can actually do it at 25,000, you could probably still make a little bit of money at 500. And I'll tell you how I came up to that conclusion. So I go 650, multiply that by 0.82. 82 is taking 18% off of that ARV. 10% of that is buyer profit, which is kind of a general rule of thumb across the board as to what a buyer is going to expect to make. 10% of the after repair value. So if the after repair value is 650, they're hoping to make, or really expecting to make, 65,000, right? And then the other 8%, which is what I like to take into consideration, is all of the commissions and the fees that pop up when it comes to actually on the back end, when it comes time for that end buyer to sell the property. So when they fix it up, they're going to go list it back on the market, and they're likely going to pay 3% seller commission, 3% buyer commission, closing costs on the back end, as well as closing costs on the front end, if that's what you offer to the seller. So I like to take 8%. And then that gives us 533. And then based on what you're saying, 25% approximately on repair costs, then that puts us at 508,000. So then you just got to determine how much you wanted to make as an assignment fee. So I would honestly put my max at like 500 with these type of price points. I don't work in these type of price points, but I would probably, put my max at 500 just in case there was a little bit of a discrepancy on that valuation or evaluation of repair costs. You give yourself a little bit of a buffer there. I would just round down from 508 to 500, and then I would just try to get it lower than that. But the homeowner is making monthly payments to the bank. How do you go about that? So as long as their outstanding mortgage balance is less than what you're able to offer them, then that's that. Then so what's going to happen is, let's say they owe 400,000. They're making monthly payments of however much, but their outstanding mortgage balance is 400. If you're able to offer them 500 and your math is accurate, and you find a buyer that's willing to take it at, kind of the formula that I ran, then you would make 8,000 from that spread between 500 to 508. If you found somebody to buy it at 508 and you contracted it at 500, then the seller would walk with 100, because what's going to happen is the cash is going to be funded. The deal is going to be funded at or around closing, your title company or your closing attorney is going to take the 500 and they're going to satisfy all of the liens, either voluntary or involuntary, associated with the property. The mortgage balance being the most common is based on my understanding here. So they're going to take this and they're going to say, okay, this person got a loan from Wells Fargo 20 years ago when they bought the property and they still owe them 400,000. So we're going to take the 500, we're going to take 400,000 of that, and we're going to pay Wells Fargo because they need to get paid, right? They still are owed that money. And then they're going to see if they owe any property taxes, anything like that. Title company is going to be able to determine all of that. And they're going to pay off everybody that needs to be paid off. And then it's going to be, then title will be clear. Now with the remaining balance, the remaining is going to go to the seller based on what you offered. So again, let's say it's 400,000 that was owed to, taxes, outstanding mortgage balance, all that good stuff. So then the seller would get 100. And then if you were able to find somebody at 508, you would take the 8,000. What can be the cash offer price? Please answer. So hopefully that answered. That makes sense, Element? Let me know if that helped and if that was I was able to articulate that enough or well enough for you to for my gibberish mumbo jumbo to make sense there. Just gonna go through and again. Okay, that's one. Going to give their tenants till the end of January. Okay, this is a good one. I want to follow up with this guy tomorrow. The tenant was like, "Oh yeah, we want to buy it. We want to." I'll follow. They had to deal with my tire tomorrow. I'll follow up with them on Thursday. They were trying to give their tenant enough time as possible to try to buy the place. I didn't want to just straight up tell him, "Your tenant's never gonna buy the place, man." But I followed up with him enough, and he's appreciated it to the point where he said, "All right, I'm going to give them till the end of January. If they haven't pulled the trigger on anything, then we can start having the conversation." So, thank you. I appreciate your time. Of course, Element, do me a favor if you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe button. I'd love to continue helping you out, and check out the links in the description so that we can stay connected when I'm not on the live stream. I got my Instagram link down there and a Discord group that I just created. So that's going to be the best way. The Discord is going to be the best way to stay connected with me and everybody else in here. And I'd love for all of you guys. I'd love for any of you guys to hop in the Discord and stay connected. Again, I have my notifications on my phone turned on for those for the Discord group, so I actually I see it when you will say something in there, as opposed to my Instagram. I don't have my post notifications turned on, so I'll just see it when I'm on Instagram. All right, Guillermo. No plans now, thinking towards end of 2021 or beginning of 2022, getting things in line with his girlfriend. Place is a fixer-upper. Him and his girlfriend want to move. He asked for a call back around February or March. Wants to get his affairs in order. I called him a week ago, and he asked for a call back in an hour, and I just failed to do so because I was busy. So I'm gonna call him again. Just kind of, I'm kind of done making calls for the day, so I'm just rescheduling these so that they're no longer past due, but rather something to look forward to in a few days. And then again, just kind of deleting some of these that aren't worth my time anymore. Element, I'd imagine that you're just kind of starting out too. I'm curious, do you plan on doing this in your backyard, in your market where you live, or virtually? And if so, what market do you plan on hopping into and starting to generate some of these leads? Her lawyer and her sister's lawyer have not been in communication. Plans to reach out to the lawyer to see what direction it's headed in. Mentioned that her nephew currently lives there and the water is off and that all the other bills are in her name and becoming burdensome to keep up with. This is a couple weeks. I said we plan to revisit conversation in 2 or so weeks, which will give her enough time to discuss the next steps with her lawyer. Sounds like there's a legal battle in terms of ownership of the property between her and her siblings because it was inherited after her parent, I believe her mother, passed away. So nothing can really happen with that anyways until the legal battle is resolved, I believe. But so I'm going to give her a call on Thursday as well. Thursday is going to be another heavy follow-up day for me. This guy, last time I called him, he hung up once I mentioned the property. But then before that, he wanted to call back after the holidays. I connected with him a few days before December. First connected with him back in June of 2021. Maybe interested in selling in the future. He seemed to like the benefits that I was offering. So I do remember this guy. He's worth following up with, in my opinion, at least for a little bit longer. But if I keep calling him and he keeps hanging up on me when I mention the property, maybe not. This was the woman. I want to call her. She doesn't want to sell, but she does want to buy something. This is somebody who I proposed to connect her with a realtor. So I just want to call her once more just to confirm that that's something that she's still wanting to do, and that if she wants me to continue connecting her with the realtor before I just toss the information over to the realtor and end up wasting the realtor's time. I just want to make sure that it's something that's actually going to pan out. So all these other people, it seems like at this point they are worth following up with. This person wanted to sell once the tenant was out, but didn't know when the lease was up. So they're on about a monthly follow-up. Called them Friday. Ms. Vargas, her and her husband, I remember her, are doing the repairs to the place, but they were asking a reasonable price. And I keep trying to tell her, why don't you just sell it to me before you do all these repairs? But because they're not even really wanting to do all of the repairs. They're wanting to do like half of them, and then like they want to do like half the repairs and still sell it as is off market. So I was like, why don't you just sell it to me now before you do the repairs? This woman I connected, she had 2 properties. She said if she sold the one, she would want to sell the second. It would be one of those things where she was moving out of state, so it would be kind of a feat to overcome. But I started reconnecting with her, tried to follow up, but the number went out of service. So that's another one where I've left a note for myself to just kind of re-skip trace it to see if I can get back a hold of her. Following up with a number of these people Thursday and Friday. I'm just kind of, I haven't really deleted anybody, but I think it's all these people are worth following up with at least another couple times. Before, they either tell me no a few more times or I just am unsuccessfully able to follow up with them. Then I might continue following up with them, but to push it out like every 3 to 6 months as opposed to, following up with them bi-weekly or monthly like I am. Three left here. Same thing, legal battle. Connected with him about 3 months ago, so he's worth following up with. Follow up with him at the end of this week as well. 2 more to get through here. This gentleman, he was hot when I first connected with him, and I haven't been able to get a hold of him since. It's been a very long time. No. This is the gentleman whose mother has unrealistic expectations. Although me and him were talking good numbers, like 40 to 50,000 for the property, which I think is what it's worth, and there's a good spread on that for me. But then beyond that, his mom was like, "We need 120 or something so silly." So I haven't been able to get back a hold of the son. So that's just what I've been trying to do on that one. But he was motivated. The mom is like a dialysis patient. She was getting a kidney transplant. The grandmother had early onset dementia, and he was the primary caretaker for both of them. And they had multiple properties, and they were wanting to sell them all, or at least one of them. I think they had 3 properties, and they were wanting to sell at least 1 or 2. So that's somebody definitely worth following up with. But I'm going to end it here. I appreciate you guys. We're kind of approaching the 3-hour mark. Appreciate you guys tapping in here. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. If you haven't already, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. Probably going to be going, if I go live tomorrow, I'm going to be going live in like the afternoon. Like I mentioned earlier, I got to handle my car. I'm getting some new tires. I got to get it towed over to the shop. So to be honest, I may not go live tomorrow, as I haven't been on Wednesdays, but for sure I'm going to go live Thursday. So I will see you guys then. Peace.